Hey Boba Gang, thanks for tuning back in. Today we're going to do something a little different than what I normally do. So it'll be a product review, and for the product we're going to be checking out today will be the Gong Cha Classic Milk Tea. But yeah, so for this box I grabbed it from Costco. It's a nice little box, it's about 50 packets. So we'll be doing a dive on this one. Talk a little bit about the different type of products I've had regarding these powdered milk teas. So back when I was living in China, I tried I think maybe 22 different type of flavors of them from across different brands, and a lot of them tasted fine, but it's kind of like the texture and the taste quality you'll expect from a powdered version of a milk tea, versus going to a legit boba shop that will brew the black tea product that will use evaporated milk, condensed milk, whole milk, skim milk, almond milk, oat milk, whatever milk they have, and the type of sugars that they will use. So a lot of these try to replicate it, and I don't know, a lot of them they taste fine and they're good in a pinch, but they would never replace a handcrafted milk tea. So that's just something I would kind of like come in with slight bias. So personally, with this, I don't have too much of high hopes, but hopefully they could prove me wrong on that. But given how a lot of the ones I've tasted past, it's just okay. All right, so first thing I want to touch on will be the packaging of this, okay? So, is their classic brand, just says Gong Cha with their name on it. Tells you that it's classic milk tea. Is it, a great packaging? Not really. It's kind of very basic, but it stays on brand to them. So at least there's a cohesive brand image when you look at this, plus, how you would see in a shop. But, it's not like, oh, it's not like fantastic. It's not like out there punching you in the face kind of thing. But it's fine. Yeah, at least goes with the brand. So yeah, the one thing that it says on here will be creamy classic milk tea with rich flavor of Sri Lankan tea leaves. Now then, that's the part I kind of want to touch on real quick, because when I look at the back of the ingredients, which if you look at nutrition facts for this, it's not looking great. But we'll touch on that one in a moment. So it says Sri Lankan tea leaves, and that makes me think, oh, cool, maybe potentially this will have. I think it's pronounced Ceylon tea leaves, which is a part of the black family tea leaves. I honestly don't think they would, just because a lot of these are packaged grind up powders. Okay, so when you actually look at it on the back, it will list two different types of black tea extract powders. Both of them they numbered as 1 and 2. So I don't know what those are. So it doesn't give me high hopes that they actually are using Sri Lankan tea leaves. But I could be wrong. And the other one that they also list on here will be saying that it contains milk. And when you actually look at the back of the ingredients, as I still am staring at it, it shows non-dairy creamer along with like skim milk, milk protein concentrate powder, and another item for like a milk flavoring. So although it does say that, I feel like a lot of these they don't really taste like milk. It's just like this powder, just a powder version of how milk would be. So I don't expect this to taste that milky. It'll have that slight creamy, the OVD taste that some of these try to replicate. But yeah, overall, it says there's milk, but honestly, I don't think there's much milk. So yeah, all right. And over here on this side, I already kind of had opened it previously. They give you a little slit so you can pull out your package. Like, so they do have that package, and then of course they have the instructions here, doing hot and cold. Okay. So yeah, so I get tonight. I'm just probably gonna do the hot version of it, and then maybe if I'm moved, I'll do the ice one. But looking at the instructions for ice, it does not look very promising. For the hot and cold, for doing a hot drink version of it, it's gonna be about 6 ounces for one pack, just for this one stick. Whereas if you look at the ice one, it's supposed to be 1.48 ounce, one stick, then ice water, which is 3.84. So that's a very low amount of water. That'd be about 5 ounces of water, and you have to add in all the amount of ice. So I don't really think the ice one's gonna be all that great, just because it's gonna be so watered down. It's not gonna be much of a milk tea taste. The hot one is just 6 ounces plus the pack of stick. Now the 6 ounces is not that much. It's much smaller than most, boba tea that you would just get at the shop. So if we say, some places they use about 16 ounces as a medium. Some places have 16 ounces as small. For us, that's technically a small, but most places like 16 ounces. That means for this one, since this is a pack of 6 ounce, and then you need about 16 ounces for it to be roughly the same, you'll have to use roughly 3 packs of these. So yeah, so when you go by that number, the 50 drops down very quickly. That's like what, 20, less than 20 drinks or so. Now before I open this, I do want to touch on the nutrition facts. All right, so here's the nutrition facts. Now there are about 90 calories per serving and about a lot of added sugar. So if y'all do have any health issues like diabetes, so take it at how it is. Okay. So I have my boiling hot water here, and I have 1 packet of the Gong Cha. Okay. So the recipe says we need about 6 ounces. Well, the nice thing about the packaging is that they're very easy to rip open, so you don't really have to use much strength. Does it smell very fragrancy? Does it? Does it smell like it has like real milk in it? But of course we already knew that based on the type of milk protein that they have listed on there, and listing that there's black tea extract. Not much of a distinction compared to a lot of the other brands I've had. In terms of taste profile, it's pretty much what I expected it to be. There's not really much oomph to it, and it does taste like it. So there's not a doubt that this tastes like the powdered milk teas and all. It's not that inspiring. It's not really like, oh my god, the best thing in the world. It tastes pretty similar to what you expect. For this one, it tastes more, for me it tastes a little bit more like the powdered milk takes a little bit more of a front stage presence to the black tea, so like a little bit more of a main character energy, if you want to say. If I had tried this one with ice, like a cold version of it, maybe it won't be as dilute as I expected it to be, but it'll still pretty much lean heavier on the milkier side versus a black tea. For like a really good milk tea, as I'm sure most of y'all have had, a lot of the good ones have a good blend between black tea and a milk tea aroma to it. This one just, it's a little bit stronger on the milk side. I don't know, maybe this would be better with like maybe more of a protein powder for any gym buffs out there. But overall for this one, it's fine. Alright, so what are my final thoughts about this? Really, it just covers like the 2 different types of users for a specific type of pain points. And that would be 1, if you're really not in the mood to go out to grab milk tea from established shop, or if you're crunch on time, or perhaps when you want it, it's not available because maybe it's like midnight and you don't have a place that's open that late for milk tea, then yeah, it will help you in that kind of pinch. Or the second one will be if you're really craving it and you really don't feel like going through the effort of brewing it yourself, like if you're not in the mood for that, help substitute for that. This is fine. Okay. Just keep in mind the amount of sugar. That's make sure that you're kind of coming into this with very low expectation. Don't expect this to be the thing that completely replaces a bubble tea shop, because if that was the case, there will be a lot of shops that are closed, but these are just good grab and go. So that's it for today's review of the Gong Cha Classic Milk Tea. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment. If you try this, what were your opinions? Just let me know what your thoughts are. All right, bye.